Boruto Chapter 25 preview now. This episode is going to be one of the best episodes of Boruto thus far. I'm pretty sure we all know. We've all been anticipating this for so long. We finally get to see Momoshiki at his full height of potential, full height of strength, go off and basically match up against Naruto, Sasuke, and the rest of the Kage. Now, in this episode, it's supposed to be something very interesting. And now, a lot of people are probably not talking about this, but I am pretty much talking about it. And it's the location of Urashiki Otsutsuki. A lot of people have been kind of speculating that, hey, he's probably not going to die in this arc. And I kind of made a video or a collab about this. And I said, hey, he's probably not going to die in this arc. And I said, I won't be surprised if we just don't see him for the rest of the arc. And it's possibly going to happen. Now, in this next episode, there's a possibility that he shows up. I'm not saying that I know this for sure, but there's a possibility that he shows up, or there's a possibility that they just show him handing to him, and while he's watching Momoshiki like completely beating up Naruto and Sasuke, and him just being like, alright, so he's just gonna leave. But honestly, as I said, we have no idea what they're planning on doing. Now, another thing I want to talk about is Momoshiki's strength. Now, off of the preview alone, we see that Momoshiki's strength, quickness, everything has been increased. Also, he has this eye dojutsu. Now, these eye dojutsus, they start off as yellow. No one ever really seen anything like this, and of course we're talking about God, so they probably won't make sense to us right now. They'll probably make sense to us way later on in the Boruto series, but they start off as yellow. He has a yellow Rinnegan, he has 2 Yellow Byakugans, but later on in the preview we see that he has the Rinnegan being red, and it's like very confusing, but it's like very interesting, mainly because no one really thought about different levels of the Rinnegan and the Byakugan. And of course we always had this simple list right here. The Sharingan goes onto the Rinnegan, and then the Byakugan goes onto the Tensegan. There's so much dojutsus that could possibly be in between those two, and it's just absolutely amazing. And it's not only that, this red Rinnegan or this yellow Rinnegan might even be stronger than this purple or blue Rinnegan, whichever colors you guys might call it, and it's just absolutely amazing. Hopefully we do get to hear about some information regarding these Byakugans, but in my opinion I feel like they probably won't give us a lot of information. One thing I do hope is that they do give us some sort of, I'd say, filler. I wouldn't even call it filler because it'll definitely be relevant to canon. I feel like they should give us some informational episodes where it's just like them explaining all these dojutsu, explaining where Momoshiki and Kinshiki came from, things like that. But without further ado, I'm going to read over the spoilers that we did get a couple weeks ago, basically explaining what this episode is going to be about. Now, the episode title is Father and Son. Going into the paragraph, it says, while Boruto is watching on, Naruto and Sasuke begin their battle against Momoshiki, who has attained further power. As the two heroes who defeated Kaguya, who is also from the Otsutsuki clan, Naruto and Sasuke demonstrate their tremendous power to overwhelm Momoshiki. However, the intrusion of an unexpected party disrupts the situation. Naruto and the others are concerned in a desperate situation. Boruto is then entrusted to enact a crucial strategy by his master Sasuke. Alright, now one of the main things in this paragraph I want to talk about is how there will be an intrusion by some unexpected party. And I'm not completely sure who that is. Of course, I spoke about Urashiki in the beginning of this video, but a lot of people that I talked to, they say that it's supposed to be this Katasuke guy. Now, of course, a lot of people probably know who this Katasuke guy is. He always helps Boruto out with his video games, give him some cheat codes or some early released video games, things like that. And of course, what he's trying to do now is he's trying to showcase his scientific weaponry. He feels like this is going to be his meal ticket. Now, in the movie, this is exactly what happened, but of course, as I said, like many videos before, he was not shown entering the portal, whereas in the movie he was actually shown entering the portal. So I actually have no idea who it's supposed to be. In my opinion, it is going to be him, but that's just because I don't feel like that Urashiki is going to be a part of this arc any further, unless the cameras just pan to him for like a quick second and they just show his reaction to Momoshiki fighting Naruto and Sasuke. That's pretty much it. As I said, I feel like Urashiki is going to have a much bigger plot to him. I feel like he'll probably have an arc separate to everything else and just directed towards him and what his abilities or what his motives are going to be in the overall plot of Boruto. Another thing that I want to talk about is the mission that Sasuke basically gives Boruto, and of course it's going to have something to do with the Rasengan. Now, there's a couple of maneuvers that Boruto had to do in this episode, but what I want to talk about is the order that this paragraph played it out. Now, in the movie, Boruto hit Momoshiki with a Rasengan. Now, the Rasengan that Boruto hit Momoshiki with was the Vanishing Rasengan, and that was actually when Momoshiki looked like he had control of the situation. He was basically acting very cocky, and then when Boruto threw the Rasengan, it was like he was reeling. Now he was injured, that he was hurt, things like that. So Boruto actually hurt him. Now, I'm not completely sure if that's going to be the actual mission, mainly because it says Sasuke and Naruto basically had Momoshiki cornered at first, but then some unexpected foe came in and basically gave Momoshiki help. Now, This is going to be extremely different from what happened in the movie. Now, there was another mission where Boruto had to use a huge Rasengan. I'm pretty sure you guys all know that. It was basically that legendary scene where Naruto helped Boruto make that huge Rasengan, and then Boruto hit Momoshiki with it, and that's how Boruto finished off Momoshiki. As you guys know, the anime and the movie, they are very different. Of course, this is probably going to be a different scene as well. They're going to change a lot of stuff up, but one thing I do hope that they do not change is that huge Rasengan, because again, that was pretty much like the best scene of the whole movie. That just climaxed, the huge Rasengan. You see Boruto helping him. You see the flashback to Jiraiya helping Naruto with the Rasengan. Things like that. That right there was very emotional for a lot of people. That scene definitely made a lot of people happy, and I hope that they don't take it out in this anime. That's like the good and bad thing of the Boruto being rehashed into the anime. I feel like they do change a lot of stuff, but hopefully they don't change the good parts, and I feel like this right here could possibly be a good part. But nevertheless, you guys don't need me to say it. The next episode of Boruto is definitely going to be one of the best episodes that we've seen thus far. It's definitely going to be an episode that was very much anticipated, and hopefully they can replicate that in the next coming weeks of Boruto, because obviously the next coming weeks of Boruto is going to be a little bit of filler, but then it'll be a little bit of more actual missions and more actual action, and hopefully we'll get back into the action very soon. But let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comment section below. But speaking of boy Barbie, and we out.